Hello, hello, hello.
Hey there.
Welcome back to the LesBi Real podcast. I'm your host, Genesis,
And I am. Oh,
and you are.
I'm sorry. I just got so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah.
Hello, Mariah.
Hey, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are we today?
We're good.
I think we're having a good day.
I think we are. I think today's a really good day. I don't think we've accomplished a lot.
We really did do a lot.
We got your eyebrows done.
Oh, finally.
We went to a cafe.
Mm-hmm. We got some.
Oh, we went grocery shopping.
Yeah, we went
did
grocery
laundry,
shopping.
cleaned,
Yeah,
all that.
we did.
Recording a podcast.
Yeah.
We did a lot.
We did a lot today. We purged the pajamas.
Oh yes, we did the pajama drawer.
It was a little.
Genesis has more pajama shirts for a week.
Well.
Wow, that felt really good to get off my chest.
Wow.
That felt really good.
Yeah, it seemed like you've been waiting quite
Wow.
some time.
Knew this podcast would be healthy.
Quite some time to get that out.
Yeah.
No, we had plenty of pajamas, so I did release some of my pajama shirts.
You did. And a bunch of pants.
And yeah, I got rid of hello.
Hi.
I got rid of every pair of leggings I have.
Literally.
I don't know. She pulled them out immediately. I was like,
no,
throw them out.
Don't want them.
Don't want
I
them.
was like, wow. And I didn't even fight it.
Just chucked it immediately.
So
But
what are we talking about today?
our topic for today is what made us hesitant to date people in general, not just date each other.
I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And kind of like go into that about how certain life factors can make dating a little interesting based on the way people are going to react.
So
Who wants to go first?
what about you? What
Me?
was the difficult part for you to date or what do you found to be difficult, you think, for yourself?
So I think the very obvious answer is going to be dating with a disability. It was new to me. Let's start there.
Yeah.
But I think being a type 1 diabetic made me very apprehensive about dating, and I have all these things on me. Where is it today? Like I have all these things
There
on
she
me.
is.
Here's my Dexcom. I have a Dexcom or a CGM. I have an insulin pump. So I have all these things on me. I like to call myself like I'm robotic. My robot pieces, I love them. They help me live. It's great.
For sure.
They're
They're your lifeline, if you think about it.
They are. It's my pancreas.
Like your life support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's necessary. Like I don't have a choice in the matter, right? Like I can't just choose to stop
Being a diabetic.
by
Or
being a diabetic, a type 1, right? So it's just, it's a lot to kind of tell someone. So like so on my Hinge profile,
Yeah.
I did put it on my Hinge profile because I'm like, I just need people to know off rip. I don't want this to be surprising, I beep, I make noises, my phone goes off all the time because of my sugar. So it's like I need someone to be like, hey, like, this is more than just you're dating someone. Like I come with, I don't want to say issues. I don't want to.
No, it's not issues. Maybe you should run. What is a type 1 diabetic? Just for those, because people are like, oh yeah, my grandma's got diabetes. Like, yeah, it's a little different.
So
And it's not to invalidate their experience.
no,
or
it's
anything
not.
like that.
No, not at all. So there's type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is an autoimmune issue. It just means that my body basically was square up with my pancreas and was like, we don't like you, and bullied it into submission until she stopped working.
Because her body's from the bury.
Yeah. So I don't have any insulin producing cells. So I don't make any insulin. So traditionally, when Mariah eats an apple, her body goes, oh my God, sugar. We don't want this in the bloodstream. And she releases insulin. My pancreas just doesn't do that anymore. It just gets blood sugar into the system and that's it. So I have to use insulin, like that's not produced by my body, to live every day. In type 2 diabetes, the easiest way is insulin resistance. I think that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
Your body produces insulin. There's nothing wrong with your pancreas. You're just not accepting the insulin to lower your blood sugar.
Yeah.
And there's a variety of factors. I don't want to just say it has
No.
to do with diet and
No.
exercise. It can.
It's
for
one of
sure.
the factors.
It's one of the factors, but a lot of it's also genetic, and some people who get sick, and there's a lot of reasons why you can have type 2.
Yeah.
But type 1 is an autoimmune disorder. My body just fought itself, and now I don't make insulin. And I think that alone, that nuance of the differences in diabetes alone is a lot for some people.
Yeah.
Because they're just not willing to deal with it, which is valid. You don't have to date me. I do come with a few extra things that I kind of got to worry about.
Yeah.
And not everyone's equipped to deal with that, which is fine. So I put it on my Hinge profile. And what was the question?
Ask me about my...
No.
Do you know what the acronym stands for?
No. It was, I'll brag to you. I'll brag about you to my friends if you ask about and I put T1D. So I wrote it like that on purpose because I know that if I put type 1 diabetes, that's kind of hitting it on the nail.
Yeah.
So I put my T1D.
And I know what that means.
Yeah. So I'm like, if someone knows what it means or is bold enough to ask me what that means, then that's cool. I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe that's an indicator that they're interested in learning about me as a person and going that extra step to ask me a question about it.
And also, full disclosure, you are type 1 diabetic.
I am.
Yeah.
Like I want them to know.
Like, it's like a full disclosure. So Correct. I saw that when I saw her profile, when she liked my photo and like didn't want to write a comment because for whatever reason. Yeah, and I saw that. I was like, is she a type 1 diabetic? And it's like, wow, that's interesting. That's different.
It is different. I mean, I think we're out of diabetics, type 1, I believe it makes up 1%.
Yeah, there's not many of you guys.
There's not many of us walking around. No.
So like every time we go into a store, we go into a mall, a bathroom, and you see something, like, I see the CGM. And I was like, oh my god, look! And it's like usually they're type 1 diabetic.
Yeah,
like it's.
And I always have a conversation. Are you type 1?
I think all of you guys do that. Like I feel like because the interaction, even when you approach them, they seem to be like,
receptive.
Wow,
to it. Exactly. Correct. Because there's not many of us. So and like me personally, I don't know anybody. Not one person.
Neither do I. I don't know any type 1 diabetics besides you. Yeah. That's how, and like I've come across them as patients, but never as like
personal.
No.
Yeah. And like nobody in my family has it. So I mean, like other like diabetes. Yeah. But like type 1, nobody. So it's like, and then I got diagnosed as an adult, which is a whole other thing. Is that I got diagnosed like late stage. So most people who are diagnosed with type 1, they refer to it as juvenile diabetes for a reason, because most of the time it occurs anywhere from like 3 to 13 or something like that.
It's when your body, that's
when your body starts to lose the ability to produce insulin.
Yeah.
And I found out when I was 25. So,
wild.
I like lived my life regularly.
Yeah.
Just eating food. And I didn't understand type 1 diabetes when I got diagnosed. I didn't realize how much math diabetics have to do.
Yeah.
I can never just eat something.
Yeah. You just can't casually just have a cup of coffee.
No, I have to think about it. Like I have to actively go, okay, what am I putting into this? How many carbs are in here?
Yeah.
What does the label say? If it doesn't have a label, well, now I have to guess. Like it's a lot. It's every meal. It's a job that is 24/7, 365, one extra day on a leap year. I don't get to quit that job. I can be exhausted. I can be tired. I could be cranky. I could be having a panic attack.
Yep.
I have to deal with my blood sugar. I don't have an option. So I understand that that's a big responsibility to put onto someone else. And I know that because, it's a little frightening to be alone. If I have a low blood sugar, it's scary. It really is. So to put that onto someone like, hey, you might see me in a really weird state. I'm going to be low. I'm going to be shaking. I'll be stuttering. I might be sweating. I may need some help.
Yeah.
And it's not for everyone to be able to handle.
Yeah.
I think mentally. So it made me apprehensive when dating, but I figured I just have to put it out there. I do. And I did. And she asked me about it.
I did.
Really quickly, which I was really happy about. And as we discussed in previous episodes about how we met in the cooler with the snacks.
Yeah.
It like validated a lot of things that are like, oh, there is someone who's willing to deal with me having diabetes, because it's really discouraging.
No, I I truthfully, I knew of type 1, like I knew of what type 1 or being a type 1 diabetic was, but I didn't know the intensity of it or even date. Like when I saw that, it did cross my mind. I was like, well, that's
a lot.
It, I said it was a lot, but then I didn't. I truth not until we started dating where I was like, wow, this is. I came to the not that it was a lot, like oh my god, I have to deal with things, but just it's in a lot, just in general, more so for you than it is for me. But yeah, it's like it's the all day. Are you too high? Are you too low? Or did you eat? How much insulin do you have on board? It's a lot. It's exhausting,
and it's every day.
Every day, even in the middle, you know, she has these monitors and stuff like that, and like I'll never forget the first time when the monitor went off on your phone, and I was in pure panic because she was like her sugars were like 50.
Yeah,
and I remember like I shot out of bed and I was like, are you like waking her up? I'm like, oh my god, like you know,
are you
from the medical point of view, it's like, oh my god, you're gonna be in a coma.
Yeah,
and then how, you know, it's like that set, not set responsibility. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
What do I do? I mean, I know what to do, but what do I do?
Yeah, because you know me differently. You don't know. We're not in a medical setting.
No, we're not.
Your expertise.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to be like, well, how do I do this at home? You
like
know,
we have all the supplies and stuff like that. But like even going now, it's like, all right, well, we order food. It's like, all right, well, food's coming in 20 minutes. Do you want to bolus yourself with insulin now? It's like, it's a complete, the way that I eat is even different. The way that I look at food, the way that I see food, the way that we do food, it's just very different now.
It is really different. Like I have to be on a certain schedule and, you know, I have to eat at specific times. I mean, it's not like a hard and fast rule, but like my body's used to eating lunch around noon. As soon as noon hits, you can see the sugar start to come down.
And I get the notifications on my phone too. And it's just like,
which that was the first for me.
Which is crazy because if you're dating somebody, like I just feel like you're just part of we're on the same team, right? So if you got, I mean, I don't have it, but if you got diabetes, I got the diabetes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like,
yeah, it's interesting. I think so. You are the first person to ever have my actual glucose readings populate on your phone because the glucose
as
monitor, as a partner.
Yeah.
The glucose monitor that I have on my phone, it allows you to share with someone else, like a family member, because most people who are diagnosed
because if your sugar is so low,
correct,
you're in the 40s or something like that. Who's to say you're gonna wake up to your own alarm?
Correct. Sometimes you won't. I mean, luckily, I knock on wood, that hasn't happened to me. But because it's kids who usually get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, there's all these things for tracking for parents mostly. So, Mariah was the first person to ask me, like, would you be comfortable with that if I could have that on my phone to, like an extra set of eyes? Which I think, again, I've never had a partner even consider that as an option.
Yeah.
Not saying that they didn't care, but I think to go the extra mile to know, like, your phone's going to go off.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed. It's going to go off. You're going to know about everything that's happening at all times. You know, if my sugar's high, you're going to get a notification every 15 minutes that it's high after the certain threshold that I set.
Yeah.
So.
Or not even just that, like being conscious of like, well, if we're leaving the house, like your Omnipod, how much units of insulin do you have on board? Should we bring insulin with us? Or even, I was used to leaving the house with keys, wallet, and I'm good. If I don't have my keys, wallet, and I'm good. Now it's like, no, we have to, if you're not carrying your purse, we have to carry some sort of bag with us, because what if your CGM stops working? We need to monitor your sugar, so we have that in
my finger stick.
Exactly. So that's in the bag, and it's like this big. Then we have to carry insulin on board, because what if your Omnipod either runs out, or 2 isn't working anymore?
Yeah.
Great. Now your sugars are in the 200, 300s. So we need insulin.
We need insulin, which means that we need syringes.
Then that means exactly comes wrong with syringes. So we have needles in the bag, obviously handled safely. And then what if her sugar drops? So we have glucose tabs. We have the glucose tabs in, a
tiny little container. Like a to-go container.
A to-go container. It's still not tiny.
No, it's not tiny.
It's like a cylinder.
Yeah.
And then from there, if that doesn't work, or if she's unconscious, then we have the inhalant
glucagon.
Yeah.
That it's dispensed in the nose to wake me up.
That's a lot. Like, I went from a keys, wallet, I'm good, to I need a bag just in case
anything happens.
Anything happens.
Yeah, like
because who wants to carry you? Like you have a purse. Like who wants to carry
a pretty big purse?
Yeah, so
because I carry a pharmacy with me everywhere I go.
Literally.
And not to mention, we're also women. So
Yeah,
we need everything else, like tampons, medication. Like I feel like we constantly have so
lipstick,
many things,
chapstick, everything in your bag.
Yeah.
So yeah, water. You know,
I always
show them. Could knock somebody out. But she drinks it. That's crazy.
I do drink it.
So yeah, it's different.
It is different.
And I could only, and in the beginning, it's like, it could be exhausting for me. And guess what? I could go to work and,
not deal with it.
Not deal with it.
Yeah.
And you deal with that every day. And I think that's where it opened my eyes. Like, wow, even if you couldn't take a night off, even if you're having a bad day.
I can't take a night off.
You can't take a night off. You're
because it could result me being in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like that's what I think the main thing that I would love for people to realize about diabetes, type 1, type 2, is that if you don't take care of yourself, it's hospital. Like that's just what happens.
Yeah, no,
that's
and I mean even more so for, I think you said, like, for type 1s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like because I'm more likely to go low. Type 2s can go low, but usually
most likely to go low. But also, I mean
DKA. Like I'm susceptible to a lot of things.
Even
my immune system's down.
Even if you get sick, it's a problem.
Oh my God!
If you get
sick,
the cold,
it's such a problem.
If you get a cold, it's like your sugars are gonna be high all day.
All day.
So then on top of that, you're going through insulin. Insulin's not cheap.
No, it's
so
not.
Like now we have to take into part, we're using more insulin now. So we're using insulin just to provide coverage to the day. That's not even for bolusing for meals.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It's hot outside. I'm using
insulin. That's it. You'll go through a whole vial. You'll go through a whole vial.
I will.
So that also goes into, what do we do for vacation? What do we do for our summers? Do we?
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? Like what do you do?
Like I can't just do stuff. Like
no.
So for example, say
going for a walk.
Going for a walk is going to the grocery store.
Walking through Target.
How often do I go low?
All the time.
Walking through a store.
Like we try to eat a heavy carb meal. If we're gonna go to Target, it's like, all right, well,
I usually get a coffee with sugar in it.
Yeah, and you bolus yourself not as much, but walking, like she'll start off getting into the store like at what, maybe like 180, 190.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we're out, you're hitting 80s, arrow down, slanted at
plummeting.
Least. So I think that it's given me a different appreciation for how fortunate I am to
have a functioning pancreas. Yeah, and I always, I guess because of how it was viewed in my last relationship, I think that I don't want to say I had a pessimistic view, but I very much came to the conclusion that I'm the only one who has to deal with this, right? This is not anybody else's problem. So to meet Mariah, and Mariah's like, no, it is my problem. You're my priority. Yeah. Therefore, we need to do this together.
For sure.
And I felt like you were you're a part of my care team, Yeah. Like, I didn't grow up like other type 1 diabetics where you find out when you're so little, your parents handle it all.
Yeah.
You're like a subject matter expert by the time you're doing this by yourself.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that. Like, I just was an adult and I got the phone call and my doctor was like, just started listing off all these things that they were sending to the pharmacy. I was whisked off to the endocrinologist and I just, everything about everything changed. And
everything.
It was a lot to deal with at first. Like I stopped eating a lot of certain foods, which was helpful because it brought my A1C down, which if you don't know what an A1C, it's how high your blood sugar is over 3 months. And so it brought my A1C down, but I wasn't eating healthily. I was barely eating food, barely eating sugar, barely eating carbs, which is necessary, even as a type 1 diabetic.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where, like, I'm Puerto Rican. I didn't eat rice for like 6 months. Like, I was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Nah, fam.
No pasta, nothing. I completely cut out everything. And I think I got into a really weird headspace about it because I'm a foodie. I've always liked food. And to find myself depriving myself of things that I like was really difficult. It was really difficult. So it's like I had to repair my relationship with food because I do like it so much and I love to cook and I love everything. But I just think that it took me a while to get there. And I think I could have used a little bit more support when I was initially diagnosed. And I just didn't have it. So to meet Mariah, I think it just healed my view of having diabetes because I didn't feel like I was doing it alone anymore. Which I thank you for that.
You don't have to thank me. I'm just here for a good time.
But yeah, so that was my hesitation or something that made me apprehensive about dating.
I hear you.
So
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
How do you feel?
I'm gonna cry. No, I'm just kidding.
How do you feel?
No, I think
that's a lot.
It is a lot to talk about, and I think it's a deeper subject for me.
Yeah.
Because I guess of how emotional I was when I was diagnosed, because at first you don't know you're type 1. They just tell you you're a diabetic. So I think I blamed myself a lot for those first few months before I got to get to the endo.
Yeah, I think you told me you thought you were just a type 2.
I thought I was a type 2 diabetic.
Thought you had done this all to yourself.
Correct.
So the self-hate that I could only imagine the amount of self-hate. Like, wow, great, I did this because I chose to eat a cheeseburger for dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a lot of self-deprecation because I truly was like, oh my God, like you gave yourself diabetes. Like you couldn't control what you were eating. And like, turns out, no, that wasn't the case. I didn't do anything actually.
And then after being diagnosed and having to explain this to people, like, even now, like I've read, when like, oh, who are you dating and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, she's, or I describe you. It's like, oh, she's a type 1 diabetic. Like, yeah. And then now I understand the invalidation and frustration that you must have dealt with and continue to deal with when you tell someone you're like, oh yeah, I get it. Or yeah, my sugars run lower. My grandma's a diabetic. I get it. Like, no, you don't. You don't. You actually don't.
Your grandmother takes metformin and calls it a day.
Yeah, you actually don't. Like, this is actually, I was just on the phone with her. Her sugar's really low and she's by herself. Like, this, it's different. So I think that even within the community, feeling that invalidation, and it's not even my diagnosis. It's like, wow, like,
people don't get it.
And that's okay. We're here to provide the education.
For sure. I'm okay with people not understanding it. I just think it's like when people who are the closest to you.
I think you also had a lot going on.
I did, yeah. I feel like
during that time period, it was low.
There was a lot. It was kind of a lull that I was going through to begin with. So then to get that diagnosis, I was like, wow, thank you, life, So it feels, I think I feel good that I'm in a place where, we can talk about it. I have your support.
Always.
My friends and family have always supported, but I think it's different with a partner because you live with them.
Yeah.
They're dealing with it all the time. Like I think like you're probably the only person who could like dose me if I needed insulin or you know what I mean? Like I feel like you have the best reaction time. Right? Because you have
also helps that I'm a nurse and we're in the field.
Of course, but I even think just your personality in general. Like I think not being a nurse, I think you still would have been that person.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. For sure. But I feel better. I feel better that I'm at peace with it. It doesn't bother me that I'm a type 1 anymore. And I deal with it.
Good. Thank you for sharing. That must have been a lot.
Of course. It was, but I feel good.
Good. You feel good?
I feel good.
Awesome. Yeah. That's what I want to hear. Should we cut this into part 2?
Ooh.
Should we do this a part 2?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, have your story.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, guys. Stick into part 2.
Is this our thing?
It is our thing. Stick to part 2.
Part 2 of
dating.
What makes us apprehensive about dating.
There you see, you're smart, you educated. From the Bury. Stick down to part 2.
Yeah.
On my viewpoint.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.